Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sunday. Seems like just a week ago that Chaz was sitting in this chair, sitting at the computer, putting numbers into a spreadsheet, and just generally making sure that Extra Life ran smoothly. And that's because it was a week ago. It's been 1 week since we did Extra Life, or at least since Extra Life ended, since it starts on Saturday and goes into Sunday. And, in that week, nothing's really been put away. I can't say nothing, right? I went to bed after Extra Life and I just slept for a very, very long time. And in that time, everyone helped clean up a lot of stuff. I mean, you'll notice there's only one light up. There's no mics. The cables are gone. So a lot of stuff was cleaned up. And I really appreciate everyone for that because I slept a long time. And a lot of folks were focused on getting up and moving to try and keep their sleep schedules normal. I didn't do that, and I suffered later for it. But while I was asleep, people took care of things, and I really appreciate it. The other thing that happened a week ago is that Thomas and Mao filmed a vlog in the kitchen, which was very, very funny and has a very unique thumbnail. And I had actually recorded a vlog that day too, because I tend to record a vlog after Extra Life, kind of talking about Extra Life and how it went and my thoughts on it. But Thomas's video was so good, and I didn't want to interject with a very different tone. So I was like, you know what? I'll talk about all of that stuff later. So I'm talking about it now. It's been a week. I've had a chance to recover like 95%. I'm feeling a lot better from all of the jet lag. And now I want to kind of reminisce a little bit about what happened a week ago and talk about the event. So first things first, thank you. Thank you all so much for tuning in, for donating, for spreading the word, for doing art. Everything is very appreciated. Extra Life is such an important event to Mallory and myself and our friends. We love doing it, but it requires people. It requires people to watch and donate and spread the word and do art. And we just really sincerely appreciate you. So I want to start there. I also want to say some other thank yous because they're just necessary. The mod team is incredible. Like, not only are they there to make sure that no one says a bad thing in chat, they are there to facilitate a good experience for chat. So if we're talking about something on the couch, the mods may listen to that and then put a link to whatever it is we're talking about in chat so people have the necessary context. It's a big job. Not to mention the mods are the ones that run the art queue. So they are the ones that take care of all of that on Extra Life. They're the ones that are going out and making sure that your art gets shown on stream. So it's a really big job. It's a really, really long day. And we just sincerely appreciate them because almost all of them were there for almost all of it. There was a lot of mod activity on Extra Life, as there always is, and we just sincerely appreciate it. So thanks. At one point, I had also went upstairs and just opened Discord, and I saw that the mods were together in a voice call. So I guess they were kind of watching Extra Life together, which is very, very cool, and I love that. And I'm excited that we have a very good team of people. I also want to say thank you to all of our friends who were here, who sacrifice their time and energy, not just the day of, but also days later as they continue to try and recover from an event, especially in your mid-30s. I just really appreciate them, and I'm so glad to have them as friends. And also, my friends are so funny. My friends are so funny. If anyone's watched any amount of the Stephen and Friends videos, you already know that, but it's such a fun time to do this event with them because I'm going to be laughing so hard. Part of that is from what y'all write in chat because y'all are funny too, but just, my friends are always saying very humorous things, and it's an event that makes me smile. My jaws hurt after 20 hours. It's great. And then, of course, I have to say thank you to Chaz, which is how I started this video. Chaz makes the event run, man. He does so much to keep everything going. And actually, this year, he did donation reading, basically all of it. There was some donation reading that happened a little bit later because Brandon took over some of it in the evening. But for most of the day, Chaz did it. And if he needed help, he would have asked. but he was just in his groove, man. Like he was doing both jobs, and that just blows me away. So he's a super wizard. I don't know how he does everything, but I sincerely appreciate him being able to make everything work. This event, this specific year, was a very, very fun event. I loved bringing Nintendo 64 back. I really loved that. And apparently y'all did too, because there were a lot of N64 games that were included. Do we still have the stack here? Oh, we totally do. So I haven't actually looked at the data until now, but this will be very interesting. These were over in the living room, so this is not the actual order, but games. So we played 27 different video games, although we played Xenoblade Chronicles X 3 times, so it was 29 slots, if you will, which is nearly as many as we've done in the past. Usually we do like 30, so this is just one less than we would typically do. And the breakdown of those games is pretty interesting. There was only one Wii U game, which isn't that surprising because like the Wii U library is pretty small. 7 games for Wii, 11 games for GameCube, and 8 games for Nintendo 64. Hopefully the math on that works out and I'm counting correctly. But like that's pretty wild because there was 8 games for N64, which tells me that there is a big interest in playing N64 games on Extra Life. There's probably also a novelty factor since it just hasn't been around for a few years. We haven't included it for a few years. But also, I think that a sizable portion of our audience grew up with Nintendo 64 games, and they're very nostalgic for them and want to see those played. So I'm really glad that we brought it back. I'm so glad that we could offer 4 different systems this year. And I was really worried about the tech setup, but it ultimately didn't matter. The nervous thing that I had was that the systems would break, but the systems worked. And as far as like the tech setup, it was easier than ever because we just decided to pull a plug out and plug it into a different system each time. Usually I like to do splitters or whatever, but I just said, screw it. Let's just use one single plug. And that simplified a lot. Now, admittedly, there was going to be a 30th game. We had actually started to set up for Tony Hawk's Ride for the Wii. And unfortunately, the peripheral didn't work. And that was sent in recently in mail. But the person that sent it, like they didn't personally send it. They got an eBay auction and had the winning auction sent to us. So like they were trying, man. They tried to help us have like, I think maybe the final missing peripheral that we didn't have for the Wii. And there was no way that they could have tested it. So it was unfortunate that that happened. However, I did order a brand new in-box Tony Hawk skateboard for the Wii. Because during Extra Life, if a game is supposed to be played, like if it raises the money to do it, and for whatever reason we can't do it the day of, I will always do a stream of it later. Because as far as I'm concerned, I owe that to everyone. Like everyone donated money, but they also paid to see 30 minutes of gameplay of something. So in this specific instance, I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I ordered one new in box. They're not really that expensive. And because of that, it should work. Hopefully. This technology is getting older, but I'm crossing my fingers that it'll work when it arrives. I really liked the lineup of games this year. I love variety in these events, and there was a lot of variety that we were kind of jumping systems and jumping game genres like almost every single time. And it was cool because there was a lot of different communities that got to be represented. Like we played a wrestling game. That was great. We played a racing game. We played a fighting game. Like that's very, very cool that we jumped around to all these different things. There's probably a lot more, but I can't see the game list. And we ended up playing a sports game too, because we played Wayne Gretzky, which also was one of the most fun games I played in the event. Like genuinely fun. Holy crap. I would love to play more of that. So many different series are represented too, because we've got Pokemon, we've got Sonic. There's 2 Sonic games this year. Animal Crossing, Final Fantasy, Harvest Moon, Donkey Kong. Like, this is a good lineup. I like this lineup. And again, y'all smashed the goal of $100,000 and took us to 111. And I'm pretty excited about where that puts us across our 13-year total, because it's just a fun number. We are at $777,000 raised across the entirety of Extra Life, all 13 years. And I got to tell you, there's something else that's got me like pretty dang excited. 111,000 is what we raised this year. Last year was a pretty similar amount, and the year before was a pretty similar amount. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that maybe we can hit a pretty similar amount for the next 2 years. Well, if we do another 111,000 next year, that'll take us to 888. If we do another 111,000 the next year, it'll take us to essentially 1 million. And that's cool, man. I am hopeful, and I'm targeting that by the end of our 15th year doing Extra Life, we will hit $1 million total raised for the hospital. That's my goal. I'm excited to try, and I can't wait to do Extra Life next year. It's just a fun event. It's just a really fun event. Anyway, I know that I've probably said it on stream, but I don't know if I've said it on the blog. The VOD, or VODs really, of the Extra Life event are going to be coming out in the same way they've always come out, segmented by game, but they're going to be posted onto Steven VOD instead of Steven Plays. However, they will be in the Steven Plays playlist for Extra Life, so if you're going to look for them in the playlist, you'll still find them. And Dan will start getting those posted soon, in the very, very near future, probably in December, if not, before. So be on the lookout for those. We're going to start dropping those onto the VOD channel as soon as we can. We're not going to post the complete unedited VOD, because that's just hard. That's the reason. It's just hard. It'll be a better experience if we segment it and Dan can go through them individually and adjust audio levels if he needs to. I'm also not sure if people know that, but for all of our streams, we record all of the audio sources independently, including for Extra Life. So what that lets us do is that hopefully we mix things pretty well during the event, but after the event, if a particular game's audio was a little too low, or even a section of it, Dan can change it. And that's cool. So we store those files and we have those forever. So if we want to ever do something with that later, we can. So that's a cool little bonus. Extra Life was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I hope all of you did too. I would love to know what your favorite game was that we played this year. I just think that'd be fun. And definitely tell me your favorite moment. I definitely want to know your favorite moments, because I had a lot of fun this year. I was around for most all of it, and I just want to see what other people saw and remember, and what made them laugh. Anyway, I will leave you with this. If you have not went to either Twitter or Blue Sky and looked at the George Extra Life tag to see all of the art, do so. The artist did an amazing job all day, and it's amazing and incredible and hilarious. So take a peek at it if you get a chance. Okay, I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?